What is happening, everybody? We have been busy recording. We have been super busy. I have been super busy. I don't know why I keep saying we. Me. I have been super duper busy recording an awful lot of contento for you guys to just follow along. I know that everybody's having a great time watching all my shenanigans. I'm appreciating everybody's feedback. I'm appreciating everybody getting back to me to let me know that you're all enjoying it. It does go the distance, guys, your comments, and it does mean a lot. I know that a lot of the time you probably think that comments go unnoticed and go unheard, but it doesn't go unnoticed, guys. In fact, if you've commented on my YouTube, you'll know fine well that it doesn't go unnoticed because you'll have been replied to. Because I did make a promise at the start of YouTube that I would comment back to and reply back to every single comment that gets put on my YouTube, so that you all know that I'm there. I'm all receiving everybody's comments, and I do appreciate the kind words, guys. It does help. It actually helps when you let me know that you're really enjoying watching it, because it makes the sting a bit less stingy when I'm actually recording. Today's episode, what we're going to be watching. Today we are officially 3 weeks and 6 days out from the first show of the season, which is going to be the Two Bros 10X Scottish Athletic Championships. Now, it's in Glasgow. I'm excited for it, and I'm on point. Today, another all-time scale weight low. We were into the 97.6s today, I believe. Got 2.9 kilos to shave off from here anyway, and we definitely have the time to do it. I'm just floating on some massive cloud just now, and I don't know why, because there's nothing happened yet. But everything's just going so good. And I swore again, everything's going so good, everything's going so great. I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the training. I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying the dieting. I'm enjoying the sun's out today. I'm enjoying my coffee. What's not to enjoy, guys? So what are we going to be seeing today? As you will be well aware, if you've been watching or following to my previous videos, you'll know that I have 3 separate coaching packages on offer. One of them, the top package, the very top package, retails at £200 per month, and with that £200 per month you get the full shooting match. Absolutely every single variable is covered, but on top of it you also get one in-person training with me each and every single month. Now you might think, oh, why would we want that, or why do you think that you should be able to, whatever you might think. The feedback that I've had from clients based on this session each month is that it's invaluable. Now, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but form videos are great. You do get a lot of benefit from sending them to your coach, but having your coach there, hands-on, like, it's absolutely priceless. Now, obviously, I can't train every day with every client, otherwise I would never get any training done. So this is a perk that I do offer on my top coaching package. It's only an extra £25 a month to the middle tier coaching package, and you're getting a full session with me. It's not even just like an hour. Like, it's not like a PT where you get an hour PT. You get a full session with me, which lasts anywhere from 2.5 to sometimes 3.5 hours, depending on how much we have to go through with your form, with your exercise accuracy, and etc, etc. Without further ado, I usually do stop all sessions at 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out. Sometimes I've seen me doing it a bit closer, 10, 8 weeks out, whatever, just depends. Like, at this point, my days, I'm not really able to plan for them. I literally check in at this point in the morning and I get my plans for the day from Cuba that day. So it's not like I can plan in advance. However, today, nothing's changing, and I got that very, very early. And I do have 2 clients who are asking to come and train, to use one of their elite allowances for this month. And I thought, you know what, I'm legs today, I'm feeling good, nothing's changing today. They were both legs, so I've got Kyle coming through from somewhere through Whitburn, Glasgow way, Kyle Finlay. And then I have Jack Brownlee as well, who is a local guy, I think Kirkcaldy, something like that. So the 2 of those guys are coming through to smash a big leg session with me today. So you'll get to see all the tips, all the tricks, all the help these guys are going to get. You'll see how much value are in these sessions, and we'll take you along for the journey. So again, I have literally recorded the Meet the Sponsor video on Thursday. I recorded the push session with Gerard on Friday, and we're now on Sunday and I'm recording again. But obviously I can't post all these videos 3 days back to back, but they will be dripped out over the next week. Okay, going to do one on Tuesday, one on Friday, and then probably one on Tuesday again the following week. Within the next 7 days you'll have seen all 3 of these, and then we will be 3 weeks out, and there'll be more. Hey, let's keep it coming, guys. Again, like I say, anything you want to see, anything that I've not covered, anything extra, let me know in the comments, guys. And please just keep being you guys, keep showing the support. And yeah, much love from the channel. Thanks very much, guys. That is us, touchdown, Gym 64, Glen Office. I've got both my elite clients here. We've got Jack here, and then we've got Kyle here. So you're about to see us going through a big leg session. Listen up, get your notepad out and your pen so you can write down some tips and pointers, and pay attention because there's going to be plenty of value in this training sessions. First up, we've got the seated leg curl. Before we get cracking now, the seated leg curl, I always like to do a hamstring movement first. Get the knees warm, get some blood in there, into the hamstring, stop them pinging off the bone when we move into the leg press. Let's get cracking. Kyle, let's go. When we're setting up for the seated curl, firstly, I would do this last, right? The first thing that I would always make sure that this is kind of maxed out at the bottom so that you can get the most stretch that you can get with this. Once you get into the seat, get your legs up here. That's the first thing you want to be doing. Now, you always want to remember, this is the pivot point of the machine, bud, right? So when you contract, this is where it's going to pivot. So where's the pivot point of your leg? Here, the knee. So ideally you want the knee in line with the pivot point of the machine. And that keeps the tension exactly on the hamstring, right? If your knee's further forward or further back, you're putting tension in places it doesn't need to be. Once you've got that in position, you want your toes pointing up the way, everything aligned straight through the hips, through the knees, through the toes, pointing up to the sky. Then you want to force this down as hard as you can. Harder. There, that's it. And now, you should already be fully stretched. The weight shouldn't be touching down. You should be ready to go. Hamstring should be engaged. From here, heels down under your ass. Just contract nice and hard. Boom. Keep the toes pointing straight forward, bud. Keep everything in a straight line. Good. Pause. Good. Perfect. Good lad. So obviously it's just feeder sets. The goal for a feeder set we know is literally just the feed to the next set to get the blood in the muscles. So that's perfect. Right, Jackie boy. Remember the feet, Jackie boy, pointing the toes forward. Make a conscious effort, bud, because if you didn't, they'll slop out. That's it. Perfect. We always need to keep things aligned in a straight line. Always, guys, I speak about feeder sets all the time. And the reason for it is because I still see a lot of people doing feeder sets and fatiguing themselves before they get into their working sets. The idea of a feeder is literally just to feed your top sets. You shouldn't do too much. You don't want to fatigue the muscle, and you certainly don't want to be taken away from your working sets. We've got 3 working sets on here. You'll still need another feeder, Kyle, probably, or maybe even another 2, but we've got 3 working sets on here, right, failing in a rep range between 10 and 15 reps. What I do is I like to feed my sets all the way up to, I feel like I can only get maybe 10 or 12. Just maybe chuck another couple of bricks on. See how 3 reps feel for your feeder? And if you feel like, I could easily smash out 10, stop at 3. Right, and then we'll do another feeder again. You know what I mean? Aye. That's how to work your feeders. If you do 3 reps and you think, Jesus, this is quite heavy, I might only get the 10 or 12 here, just go for your top set. And if you hit 15, bud, and you think, oh, my rep range is only 10 to 15, I've hit 15, then stop, because you might be 2 or 3 reps away from mechanical failure at that point. Always take it to failure. If you do too many, write it in your book. Next week we know we'll go a bit heavier. Let's go. Good. Remember the toes, pointing forward.
I feel alright there.
You going a bit heavier? Good lad, good lad. So now on to some leg press, 45-degree angle linear leg press. Matrix machine is what we've got here available to us at Gym 64. So that's what we're going to be cracking on. Now, Jack, let's go. So a couple of key pointers you want to remember when you're setting up for a linear leg press. The backrest on most leg presses will adjust. I personally like to have it a little bit lower than what you can see here, what Jack's got going on just now. And the reason for that is just purely because it allows for a greater range of motion on the quads. So I don't like it all the way down, but I like it to be 1 click down. Now, you might think, how do I know that that's going to be fine for Jack? Well, the reason being is because I've already trained with Jack before, so I know that's where that needs to be. You might have to adjust depending on your size, structure, setup and shape. But right now, we're in a good spot to go. Ideally, this is a quad bias leg press. We're trying to hit the quads as much as we can here. So we need to have the feet in such a position that we're going to get plenty of knee flexion. Now, knee flexion means knee over toes. We're not getting a lot of that here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our feet further down the pad. Bit too much, Jack. But there, try that. Now the goal is to get to maximum depth, get as much knee over toe as we can without the heels lifting. The heels lifted a little bit though there. So back up just a ball hair. How big are your ball hairs? Let's go. Let's try that. Plenty knee flexion, knees aren't lifting. We're in the perfect spot. So let's go for that. Nice and controlled. Hit depth, control it, and then contract. It's nice. I like to pause for a brief second in the hole here. Bosh and go. What that does is it removes any elasticity from the joints, any momentum that we may be gathering from the actual joints springing together. and it allows you just to contract hard out of the hole with the muscles that we're trying to work. We're going to get warmed up and then we'll get cracking on with the top sets, and I'll let you see my top set on this one. It's my set, top set. Last week I took 290 for a spin, topped out at 14 reps, which was one short off the upper range of where I'm wanting to be. But it wasn't one short, it was in the rep range. My rep range is 10 to 15. I got 14. This week I'd love to hit 15. Since the last rotation I am a couple of kilos down. It might not happen, I might not get to 15. I'm ready for not getting to 15 though, but I am going to still try.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you can't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Please.
Say anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use. Go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make.
That is what I'm talking about. Still hitting PBs at 4 weeks out. Oh, we will take that. We will definitely take that. Today's a good day. When we're on the leg press, guys, I'm going to just give you a little bit of tips about what you can do with your feet placement to actually try and bias a bit more towards certain specific part of your legs. Now, on a leg press, it is a compound exercise, a compound movement. Now, a compound movement just means that we're moving more than one muscle and moving more than one joint. So you'll never truly be able to isolate anything on here. However, you can shift the bias more towards certain areas of the lower body. Option number one, let's go for a quad bias leg press. Now, to be more quad bias on a leg press, you want to have your feet slightly in the middle. You want them a bit hip width apart, and you want the toes pointing as straight as you can get them. If it helps you to angle them out to 11 and 1, then you can do. You'll still be hitting your quads, no problem at all. The goal really is just to get as much knee flexion as possible, which means knee going over your toes. So can we do one rep here, Jack? Knee going over the toe, heels not lifting, plenty of depth, quad bias. All right? Now, if we want to bias this more towards our hamstrings and glutes, we want the exact same kind of positioning, but we want a little bit more narrow, a little bit higher, a little bit more higher, higher, there. That's kind of where we want to be, and that's going to shift the bias to the glutes and the hamstrings. Now, as you come down, what you'll notice here is when Jack comes down, this portion of his legs will actually be straight, parallel to the machine. His knees will come closer to his chin, but there won't be an awful lot of knee flexion going on. The knee shouldn't go over the toe at all, actually. It should actually stay more in line with the heel. And that's going to shift the bias to the back of your body. So let's try it. Perfect. You can actually get a wee bit higher. Nice and slow, nice and slow. As you can see, all the tension here now is at the back. We're getting quite as low, but we're not getting any knee flexion at all. That's a bit more glute and hamstring bias. Now, the other way we can do a leg press, and it shifts the bias to more the inner portion of your leg, puts a bit more tension on the adductor, is out wider, a little bit higher, and a little bit more pointed out on the toes, so probably more like 10 and 2. Let's see that, Jack. Perfect. And then down nice and slowly, and then back up. Perfect. Now, did you feel the difference on all three of them?
Definitely.
Do you feel the adductor on this one as well?
Feel it on the inside here.
And then on the last one, did you actually feel it on your hamstrings and glutes too? Just a simple little movement like that of your feet, guys, on the actual pad can make all the difference when you're trying to channel certain different parts of your legs. Now, if you're a beginner and you need more legs, I wouldn't worry too much about fancy foot placements. You can utilise fancy foot placements once your legs are a bit bigger and you need to bring up certain areas, no problem at all. But if you're just starting out in the gym, you're pretty new, and you just need more leg, just get good at getting strong on everything. Doesn't matter where your feet go. On to leg extension, guys. We've got a little AO trick here. It's not an AO trick, it's just a trick that you can use on any leg extension, all right? And you don't need any fancy bits of kit. I'm using a mat here. You might see fancy attachments that you can use in its place. We don't have one here, so I'm just using a mat. It does the job perfectly. But if you look, what you'll see is when Kyle gets into the machine and sets it to its maximum here, you can see that there's still no tension on his quads because his feet and his mobility allows him to get his heels closer to his glutes without it being fully stretched. Basically, the machine's bottomed out before his muscles in a full stretch. What we're going to do here is we're going to throw the mat in between the pad and Kyle's feet and then pull it in tight. And then what you'll notice is, now, sit with your back against the thing and put your, just relax. You can see the machine's actually not bottoming out now, so there's constant tension on Kyle's quads all the way through. Not to mention that it keeps the stress on the quads, it also stops the metal pole from inside the cushion hurting your shins. So it's a win-win. Let's see it. Now, again, same as the hamstring curl machine here. Pivot point in the machine has to be in line with the pivot point of your leg, and it's not. So what do we need to do here? We need the knee to go further back. Okay, let's get it further back then, big boy. And now, the knee is in line, pivot point of the leg is in pivot point of the machine. Does that feel much more comfortable? Perfect. From here, toes pointing straight forward and slightly back at yourself. And then contract hard, bosh. That's it, nice and slow. Slower than that on the way down, buddy. Good. Wee bit less power for the bottom, just drag it up. Perfect. Ideal. Now, one thing that I like to do here, guys, is I like to strap up for this. Now, you get some funny looks. Some people look at you funny when you're strapping up for a leg extension. I didn't really care. The reason why I strap up for a leg extension is because it allows me not to focus on grip. It allows me to just weld myself into the chair so that my ass is planted, and then I don't have to think about my grip or keeping my ass planted anymore. If you lose your grip and your ass starts to come up as you go through the set, you're just removing the tension from your quads. Ideally, if we could have a seatbelt here, you know, that would be the best option, but we don't. I just like to strap myself in, pull myself down hard and tight, and then I can literally just focus on contracting my legs from there. So here we go. How many?
30.
30?
That was painful.
That was nice. Oh, but we're up 1 rep from last week, which again, at 4 weeks out, I will take. Moving on to the almighty hack squat. Now, the hack squat in this gym is heavy as sugar. It's a good old matrix hack squat, and it leaves no prisoners. I did manage to get this up to 4 plates a side during off season. It slowly started to come back down though, and we've now, last week I fell a rep short on 3 plates a side, so I'm going to take 2.5 plates this time. The rep range here is 8 to 10. I reckon I should comfortably get into that rep range, but let's see. I've progressed a couple of movements today already on legs, and when you're 4 weeks out and you're hitting progress on certain movements, you can't expect to hit progress everywhere. If this one takes a little bit of hit, I'll be completely understanding. Top set, 8 to 10 reps, what we're going for. Let's get it. Got the 10, but I wouldn't have got another one. I definitely wouldn't have got another one. Scaling back there has been the right choice. Sometimes, guys, scaling back a little bit and leaving your ego at the door can benefit you a lot in bodybuilding. We're not powerlifters here, and I try and explain that to everybody. Like, you don't walk on stage or into the pool or on the beach and somebody goes, holy shit, he can leg press 400 kilos. They go, wow, look at the size of his legs. And in bodybuilding, we know keeping the tension on the muscle and keeping the muscle under tension for as long as you possibly can is what's going to drive muscle building. You know, if I'd taken 3.5 plates aside here and only managed 4 reps, no good to anybody. Made the right choice, and I'm happy. Right, guys, 2 more sets. Is it you? Perfect. Obviously, when we're in the gym, I do like to let all you guys know about my helpful tips and tricks that we can use to adapt and overcome. Today's lesson is going to be yoga mat, yoga blocks, yoga mattress. No, yoga matters, yoga mattress. Yoga matters. So we're using the yoga blocks today to offset the size of the machine basically. On this machine, me personally and Jack, we can get a bit more depth than what the machine allows. And the machine actually bottoms out before we've got our quads into a fully stretched position. We're leaving a little bit of progress on the table because my man Kyle will tell you, where is all the muscle built?
In the stretch position.
In the stretch position. Well, the majority of it. The majority of the damage happens in the stretch position. If you're not getting fully into the stretch position, you are leaving a little bit of progress on the table. So this is how we're going to get Jack into the stretch position here. Literally just as simple as this. What we're doing is we're bringing the actual shoulder pads down about 3 or 4 inches. So Jack can get about 4 inches lower into the stretch and thus get more progress from his quads. Get your feet in a position, Jack, where you can get as much knee flexion as you can. Bring your feet hip width apart, toes pointing slightly externally rotated. That's perfect. Allow your knees to travel in line with your toes. Nice big solid brace before you start. Resist the loading on the way down. Get as low as you possibly can, and then nice hard contraction on the way up, buddy. All right, let's go. Good. Give me just a 1 second slower on the way down. Perfect, bud. Good reps. Good. 3. My man. Perfect. Keep going. 7. Good reps. As you can see, Jack is keeping all reps standardised. What does standardised mean? Off the same standard, basically. So we're now on rep 9. Rep 9 looks exactly the same as rep 1 looks. It's the same speed, same control, same depth. Everything's the same. This is how you build muscle. Good. One more. That's 10. Let's go. One more. Come on. I'm with you. Let's get it. Come on. Nice and slow. Good track. Up. Get it. Good man. Perfect. How did that feel?
Oh, it's very good.
Good man. Love it. So that's Kyle saying that he is having to go to the toilet frequently, awfully frequently, because he's no longer started coaching. What's that been? Maybe 2 months?
2 months.
2 months.
9 weeks.
9 weeks. Obviously, Kyle's now drinking plenty of aqua. H2O, which is good, hydrates you, and it's good to be hydrated. But a little bit of knowledge for you, right? So if you're like Kyle and you have just started drinking water and then realised that actually you need to go to the toilet all the time to do the toilet because you're drinking so much water, and then you've backed off again on the water, and then you've thought, I'm dehydrated, I'll start drinking water again, then you start going for a piss again, etc, etc, and it's just a vicious circle. What I will say is just go with it. Go with it and continue on the water and let yourself go to the toilet, and it will get better. What happens, guys, the human body is a very, very wonderful thing, and when it's dehydrated, it will retain fluid. You'll actually hold on to water in the subcutaneous layer, which is the layer between the muscle and the fat. So right in between there, it's called the subcutaneous layer. That's where you hold some water, okay? Your body holds onto water so that if you do get dehydrated, it can pull water from the subcutaneous layer into where it needs to go. As soon as you upregulate your water, and I'm talking like overnight, like I see it all the time, as soon as I start a new client, I tell them what I want them to eat and drink. The first 2 nights, they'll drop 2 or 3 kilos. That's just their body getting used to the water going in. Now it knows it's adequately hydrated, it will dump all the stored fluid, because it's hard work for your body to carry a couple of extra kilos about all day, you know what I mean? Especially if it doesn't need it. That's what's happening. So if, like Kyle, you've started drinking more water, you've started pissing more, go with it. I promise it will get better. That's us done and dusted pretty much with all the compound movements. We're now onto isolation work. We're doing some seated calf, and then that will finish the session. Let's get cracking. Now, a little bit of knowledge again for you guys. There's 2 separate variations to calf raise, okay? You can do a standing calf raise or a seated calf raise. If you train in this gym, Gym 64, you can't do a standing calf raise because we don't have one. But what you can do is you can do a toe press on the lying down leg press, which is over on that side near the pec decks in Gym 64 Glen Office. All that does is it mimics the standing calf raise, but it doesn't put any loading through your spine because you're seated already. It's a much better alternative to any standing calf machine that you'll ever use. Now, the difference between a standing calf machine and a seated calf machine is simple: positioning. You've got 2 separate parts of the calf. You've got the gastrocnemius, and then you've got the soleus. One of them goes underneath, the other one sits right on top. Seated calf hits the one that goes underneath. Standing calf hits the one that goes on top. They both hit both, but they can bias more towards each head. Just like what I said earlier on, you'll never isolate it, but you can bias it more. So right now, we're doing seated calf, and as you can see, on a seated calf, let's talk about it actually. So on a seated calf, especially on this one here, the actual machine pivots with the loading, okay? What you want to do is go with the pivot of the machine, like this. That's it. That's how you want to go with a seated calf that moves, rather than staying locked in and sitting back. You want to go with the machine. You don't want to pull too much here. You want to take the calf in a full stretch, and then literally contract hard and nice. There's not an awful lot that you need to think about when you're on a seated calf machine, to be honest, other than just letting it burn and remembering that your calves actually suspend your body weight all day, every day, don't they? They help you get up and down stairs, they help you walk up and down hills. You walk about on them for 15 hours a day. To actually get them to grow and trigger an adaptive response, you need to properly blast them. Let's go. Good. You don't have to emphasise the leaning forward, but just sit still, completely neutral. That's it, perfect. You want to come in? That's it. So when we're sitting down, bud, literally just sit straight.
Yep.
And then as your legs go down, as your heels come down, yeah, exactly that. Try and keep your toes and your heels aligned so that everything's straight. We always want to work in a straight line in bodybuilding, no matter what we're doing. Beautiful. Is that nice and light? If you feel good, mate, just go for it. Calves, to anybody who knows me, everybody who knows me will know that I do have quite large calves, and it's not because I'm great at training them, it's not because I'm the best calf trainer in the world. Actually, I haven't trained calves for the last 18 months. They've only just came in for the last maybe 8 weeks of prep. My split changed, just allocated a little bit of volume there in prep, but in the last 18 months, I haven't done a single calf raise, seated or standing, because I just don't need any more calves. But I do need more chest, more shoulders, more back, more arms. So we removed all the calf volume and put it elsewhere in the session. Now, my dad had ginormous calf and he'd never ever stepped foot in a gym. He just stood on them all day. He wore shorts and his calves were monsters. So I guess I just hereditary, taking the genetic disposition for calves, which isn't a bad thing because a lot of people struggle to bring up their calves and I don't, which is good. But it means that I've got a shite chest and shite arms. So you can't win them all, guys. This is definitely going to be a movement that I'm going to win on for loading the day. So my man Kyle has just brought something to light about my man Jack. All right, let's see what the correlation is here. You don't have to do anything, but this handsome man here, how much does he look like this guy? Is that just the same guy? Just start calling you Jake.
Close enough.
7, 8, 9. Let's go. Come on in. Rest, pause. Big calves. Smashing it, bud. Keep going. For anybody who doesn't know what a rest pause set actually is, rest pause just means that you hit mechanical failure in the rep range that you are supposed to hit mechanical failure in. You take a 10-second count if it's a 1-point rest pause set, and then you go again with the same weight and do as many reps as you possibly can until you hit failure again. Now, it's an intensity technique, so we don't do this on big movements, especially in prep. In off-season, they have their place, but right now, only on this one movement. And the idea of it is to get as much blood into the muscle as you possibly can during the first set. Then you take 10 seconds rest, which is enough time for you to recover a little bit from the set, but it's not enough time for all the blood to get back out of the muscle. So when you jump straight back in after the rest pause and restart training, the blood's already in there. So it's just another way of getting a little bit more out of the muscle at the very end without obviously going past your recovery capability. I might get 12 reps and hit failure. So instead of just leaving on 12 reps, if I take a 10-second breather and go again, I might get another 6. That puts me on 18 for my last set, which we all know 18 reps on the last set is going to do way more for you than 12, isn't it? But we can't do that all the time, otherwise you won't recover. And recovery is massively important when we're trying to build muscle, guys, especially when you're peeled like me. So it's done and dusted. Leg session is absolutely blue-turned and everybody is happy. Jack, Kyle, what do you think about the session? Did you find value in it today?
Well, I've been obviously sending you training videos and getting feedback. That's helpful, but it's a different level when it's actually in person there. I can see how you train. Just everything.
Having me a bit more
definitely, a lot more hands-on.
Tempo work,
stretch.
Things like even just aligning
just
things
things like
down straight line.
IQs. See with the one with the pivot with the knee and when the machine, the leg extension and the hamstring curl. That's just everything.
Loads of value.
Just loads of value.
Smashing. And what about you, Jack? Any value for you?
Aye, definitely. So it's not my first session I've done with yourself. First leg session I've done. But as with every time I've been in the gym with you, it's very much been the value you get out of an in-person session.
Yep.
I find you get a lot more knowledge. You get to see exactly how you're doing that exercise.
Yep.
If you've got something that you're not doing quite right, you're getting told. And hopefully taking on the cues and just progressing.
Do you feel like since doing your one monthly session with me each month, your training's got better and actually progressed?
Absolutely. A lot of the time I feel when I train on my own all the time, well, most of the time.
Yep.
But that one a month just gives you that extra encouragement.
Of course.
It keeps you sort of fresh. It gives you new exercises you can bring in as well. Keeps you on your toes and not just getting bored of the same training plan. And but no, really enjoy it.
Amazing. Thanks very much. Thanks very much,
problem.
guys. So that's what you get basically, guys. If you're signed up to my elite coaching package, this is still following you, Jackie boy. My elite coaching package does come with all the perks that you get from the advanced coaching package and the lifestyle coaching package, but then you do get that one in-person session each month as well, which, as you can hear from the horse's mouth, there's definitely a lot of value in it. I'm glad. That's what I look to do. I look to provide as much value as I can for you guys, but more so for my clients. And if they're finding a lot of value in the sessions and they're progressing, that makes them happy and it makes me happy. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. I hope you found a lot of value in the session, and stay tuned for everything else that's coming up in the coming weeks. Peace out, guys.